Hello? Is anyone here? Sorry about that, guys. I just moved into a new apartment, and it's pretty shitty. The internet service here is not so great. So if you guys can see me, let me make sure we're all good here. Awesome. So sorry about the confusion, guys, but we've got some awesome questions this week, and I'm super excited about it. So let me just fix this up here. If you're just getting in, say what up. Give me a shout. Approve. We're all good there. Okay. Shout outs. We're in here. All right, so we've got a lot of awesome questions this week. I'm super excited. So thank you guys for pouring them in. And we're going to get started. I'm just going to give everyone a little bit of a chance to get in here. What's up, Jeremy? Let's see here. All right. So let's start from the top. We got some awesome questions, and I'm excited to talk about them. Keith Livingston, and this is rapid fire because I have a hard stop at 6 because we're going to be doing a conference call with Nino's fans, specifically the ones in the Rejects membership. So we have 20 signups we have actually 30 signups to the Rejects membership. So we're going to be hard stopping at 6. So I'm going to try to get through all these questions. We have a bunch of awesome questions, and I want to get through as many of them as I possibly can. So let's start it off here. So Keith Livingston, where you at, Keith? Keith Livingston wanted to know, I'd like to see more about specifically how to capture email addresses and what you do with them after you've got them. So I don't know if I have a process map right now, but we have a process map for the buddy system, and I will post it below after this. But basically, the buddy system is 8 steps. It's a funnel architecture. So what it means is you can put a campaign in each of these steps, and if it works, it will result in the optimal business structure for you as a musician. So number 1 is the indirect introduction, the video view campaigns. That's intro, okay? Then we do education, which that can happen a multitude of ways. Someone can navigate to your Facebook page and educate themselves. They can go to your website and educate themselves. They can listen to more of your music. That's all not really controlled by you. We use ManyChat to get as much education done as we can, which is Facebook Messenger marketing. But that is another stage in the funnel architecture and is necessary for an optimal flow of fans. Then what you're talking about, getting email addresses, we call it permission. It is the point in a friendship where we've met each other, we know a little bit about each other. Now it's like, you want to hang out later, right? So we need contact info for the hanging out. So that's how friendships develop. You don't just ask someone for their number for like, oh, I want it, and here's something if you just give it to me. That's weird, right? That's kind of weird. That's why free downloads suck. It's like, okay, you just want my email address, like, so you can sell me stuff? We like to collect email addresses because we need to hang out later, just like friendships. So we don't ask for email addresses unless we have a verifiable, sensical reason to email you. So when we ask for email addresses, so that we can deliver these things. And it's not a immediately you opt in and then we send you a bundle of files and then it's over and everything else after that is transactional. We build a relationship with these multi-day experiences, and it's not the only way. There's other ways to build relationships. You could do a series of videos that you want to take them through and just be like, hey, I want to introduce you more about my artistry. But either way, if you're collecting email addresses, if you're harvesting data, people feel and know when you're just harvesting their data. So as a musician, you want to offer someone a higher level of friendship, just like you do with anyone you meet. You offer them, okay, I want your number so that I can take you to the game. I got tickets, right? So it's a very natural analogy. It should make a lot of sense. And then once you do get the email address, it's exactly what you would think. You hang out, you send them free stuff, you show them more about who you are, you develop a relationship, you get them to respond to you, and you nurture a conversation. And that's what we call nurturing. That's the fourth step. And then eventually, when you have people who are fully nurtured, they open your emails, they click your links, they like what you got to say, you kind of know a bit about them, those people will support your music. And that's what we call affirmation. It's the fifth stage, and it's when, it's a point in a relationship when we're willing to do favors for each other. So if I'm willing to do a favor for you, it's because I like you enough that I want to continue the relationship, I want to help you, I want to see you succeed, I have a vested interest in your success as a person. That's natural to relationships, and it only happens after building the relationship up to that point. And you can extrapolate out from this analogy everything about music marketing. Everything about music marketing is about creating a relationship in the right sequence, in the right order. So all the major revelations that you can make, all the things that record labels get terribly wrong, it all ties back to creating a healthy relationship. If it doesn't sound like it would make sense in gaining a friend, then it won't make sense in gaining a fan or a lifelong customer. So going rapid fire as much as I can, I'm a bit long-winded, I know. Ty Bob Dylan asks, I've made an introduction to a bunch of people using a 60-hour ad of a candid performance. It did well, and it was only supposed to be a test. Well, now I'm struggling to figure out how to move forward as far as who to educate and who gets to skip to the permission offer. The folks who have liked my page, what are they? Warm, warmer, etc. Likes or shares, skip over education, time for permission. Educate. Can ManyChat act as an opt-in? What kind of content educates? Another candid video or a 30-second EPK elevator pitch? Also, I'm in a weird spot because I don't have a full-length record ready. So yeah, basically, Ty Bob, you're doing a great job of introducing yourself. Now, if you don't the only reason it's a detriment to not have enough content is because there should be a reason behind every step in your marketing. In order to eliminate all friction, no one should have to think about, well, why does this need to happen? It should be natural. It's like, well, he needs my email address so that he can send me all of this stuff and do these things that he promised, right? So why would you put someone through a ManyChat value sequence? Is it because you want to send them these videos that describe more about you to educate them? Great, do that. Now, also, people will already, if you have a robust Facebook page, people will be educating themselves on you. So you should put your sign up button and your banner to point to something larger. Now, if you don't have that something larger in place, you don't have enough content to make it happen, then you need to, that needs to be in place, because the best way to do all of this is to have a reason to do all of it. That's the only reason that a relationship develops is because there is a reason for it to develop. If I don't particularly like the cut of your jib and I get your contact information somehow, I'm probably just going to sit on it. Or if you call me, I'm not going to answer, right? Because not enough work was done in the beginning. So you really want to think about that. Now, what I would do is I would get content in place. So you need a nice list of content, reasons to reach out to people. This is the thing that I'm marketing. Just in any marketing, product comes first, product market fit. So you need your product, right? And then you can go about marketing it. You now know how to get customers. You've just become a great fisherman for people who are going to dig your music. You know where they're at. You kind of know how to reach out to them. That's not as scary anymore. Now you need to have the back end. So developing that is very important. I would say get your content in place. 12K sounds like a lot to get a record finished. I don't know. I don't even think Audio Trip was 12K in production costs. So look at ways you can dial that down. I'd be happy to work on you with it in the group as time goes on. Now, Tristan asks, should we worry about copyright protection when uploading videos of us playing our songs to Facebook? Is there generally nothing to worry about? Should we just copyright them officially when they are released officially? What about when we upload to SoundCloud? Okay, guys, always copyright first, okay? And here's why. So if you get an apartment, right, and you don't have a lease agreement in place and something goes wrong, you can't sue in a lot of cases because you don't have an agreement that prior to the malfeasance that gives you a reason to sue. Same principle with copyright protection. If you do not have your documentation in place, I will answer in a second, Stu. If you don't have your documentation in place, then you have no reason to take someone to court. Now, this is extreme cases, but there are also all types of, like, for instance, if you go and play your music live at a show, and that the venue has its ASCAP license or its BMI license, then you have a right to some money from that license if you're reporting your set list. But you can't claim that if you don't have your copyrights because you don't have anything to register with ASCAP or BMI. Does that make sense? So you're leaving all types of royalties on the table by not being copywritten. Now, when it comes to copywriting, I don't know if you guys know a lot about this. We're going to put out a series about this that we published a long time ago, and we're just going to republish it. It's awesome, but it'll walk you through everything you need to know about copyrights. But there's two types of copyrights. There is a sound recording copyright, which is what people typically refer to as the masters, and there's a performance arts copyright, which is the underlying composition. So when you write a song, the writers own that, right? And then if you decide to go with a publisher, there is a publisher's share. Now, if you record that song, or if someone else records it, that's fine. 9.1 cents is owed back to the original composers on any sale of that sound recording. That's a mechanical royalty. It's automatic. So you cannot claim it. So let's say someone covers your song, right? Randomly. Let's say it happens. You can't claim your mechanical royalties if you do not have a copyright in place on the PA, the performance arts copyright. That's the underlying composition. That's the song, the lyrics, and not really, but the chord progression, kind of the ditty, right? It's very, very up in the air. It's been prosecuted on all number of angles, and it's not very certain, but you need both copyrights. So when you finish a project, first of all, figure out who you wrote it with. What's best is if you wrote the whole thing yourself, or if you and a co-writer wrote every song, you only have to pay one processing fee to get all those songs registered for your performance arts copyright. If it's the same author on every song, then you can register it as a collection, and you just pay one fee. So that's $50. You can save a shitload of money by doing that. So if you have one song where you co-wrote it and the rest are all yours, that's two processing fees. If you have one song you co-wrote with one guy, another you co-wrote with this lady, and then you wrote the rest, that's three processing fees. So copyrights can get expensive in that regard. And the sound recording copyright registers who owns this sound recording. And that can often be a record label. In most cases, it is a record label, unfortunately. But you own your own masters right now, so register them. And you can register both. Like, you can send in just the end recording as the proof. So you don't have to write all these sheets out and all this stuff. You can just send in the recording for both. You want to keep your fees low, but definitely do that. That's a super important part. You can do it at copyright.gov. It's like an internet form. It's not that hard to figure out, and we're going to put out some training to walk you right through it. But that is a very important part. Don't skip that. Okay, and then we got Landon. Do you recommend buying merch products ourselves or using click and print places to sell merch for us? Okay, I'm a bit divided on this issue because for Cam Bird, who's our one and only coaching client right now, we're beta testing what it would be like to actually coach some indies through all this. And he's killing it. He's got 100 opt-ins to his permission offer right now. He lives in Australia, and a lot of his fans are in the U.S., so he kind of needs to drop ship, and he can't personalize his products. Kind of sucks. In that instance, yeah, it makes sense for him to do that instead of making his fans pay international shipping costs. So yeah, it makes sense for him. In all other instances, I prefer to buy it, dude. This is what's left. We got Audio Trip, Illuminati Reject, and then some more limited editions. And what we did is we did a pre-order on the end of the permission offer. Now that's risky. I'm not recommending that. It's not safe, right? And you guys are my fam. I'm not going to recommend something to you that might bite you in the ass. So don't do pre-order unless you have 1,000 active engaged people on your permission experience and they're nurtured and it's going really well, then yeah, it's probably safe to do a pre-order for 1,000. But otherwise, don't. Save up the money. Get 1,000 printed. It's so much worth it in terms of you're literally having your production costs by getting 1,000 in a lot of cases. Get 1,000, and then what's great is oftentimes these places don't care about if you want to do a different booklet for like a certain amount of them, which is what we did for the audio trip. You can create limited edition variants of your product. So you could print 100 of them in a special edition, and it might not cost you more, if that makes sense. So I recommend printing merch. We reinvested all money made back into printing more inventory because we knew, okay, we can keep on building this fan base and more people will want stuff, and it's a solid investment. It's got a good ROI to have this inventory. We're almost out of it now. In fact, we're getting some orders where we don't have what they ordered. So we're dealing with that right now, but eventually maybe it'll make sense to do drop shipping. What I like about this is it's so much more personal. So if you have a shipping day every week with your band and you guys can do an Instagram video or whatever, you guys packaging up everyone's orders, that's so much cooler than like, oh, I got it from fucking Amazon or whatever fulfillment, right? So that's what I recommend on that. I recommend printing it. Go through the process, right? You're not big enough yet to really need to do drop shipping. It'll save you some time, but like, why not get the visceral experience first is how I think of it. Cool. Awesome. Great questions so far, guys. Okay, let's see here. And then Jordan Drew asked, I'm launching a music promotions news company for artists and musicians based in the UK. My goal is to provide a platform and website for artists to get discovered easily by music fans. How would I go about targeting the right people to build an audience for this music company on Facebook? Unlike independent artists, I can't target a specific genre or similar sounding artists to build an audience on Facebook. Should I build fans by targeting people who have interests that are pages similar to what my company provides, such as music, news, promotion sites? Okay, this is a three-pronged answer, I'm thinking. So number one, if you're launching a music promotions news company for artists and musicians, what you're doing is you're trying to serve us, indies, right? You're trying to serve people who need to get discovered. And the problem with that is it's like a pretty common business model. And it's not one that there's been a whole lot of innovation in, besides what these guys are doing, right? So it's very difficult to get in that space and be like, oh, we're going to generate a lot of new listeners for musicians. Because people barely give a shit anymore in terms of music. Like, people don't click off to websites and spend their whole day on them anymore. That doesn't really happen. Like we don't enter in websites into our browser and like, oh, good, like let's stay locked in here. I mean, that's true for Facebook. It's true for email. It's not very true for content sites anymore. We go to a content site, we read something, we leave. So your acquisition of interested music fans is going to be very, very difficult. Now, you can attract people who like culture beast stuff like Complex, but what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up rushing to the first popular news article in order to build your subscriber base. So I guarantee you, as a business model, you need to come up with something a little bit, you need to pivot. And I had a talk with one of our indie students, Barbara, the other day, where she had a similar idea, but hers was more about, like it really took a while to define what the key value proposition was, which hers is, more of like a storyteller series kind of thing. So you need to figure out, well, how is it going to be different than Complex, and how is it going to be different than Pigeons and Planes, and why are people going to care? And then once you've got that down, targeting is easy. Targeting is simple. You figure out what things your audience likes right now, and you target them in Facebook. It literally, traffic has never been easier, more cheap, more ubiquitous. It's the simplest part of all this now, marketing. The most important part of marketing, the hardest part, is why anybody should give a shit. And you should assume because we're on social platforms now, right? We're not on intent-based marketing. We're not on Google AdWords. We're on social media marketing. That's where everything is right now. And people don't give a shit. You have to give them a massive reason to give a shit. So it has to be unique. It has to be a lot of pull. It has to, as soon as someone hears it, they should be like, whoa, that's dope. I've never heard of that before. I've never seen that before. Okay, that's the most important words in the world right now. I've never heard of that, or that's so cool. That's what's important right now. So a blog or some kind of news promotion site, that's not the coolest thing I've ever heard. I've heard of that a bunch of times, and I've seen it done. You need to figure out why you're different, and you need to be able to articulate that at the outset. So when you ask me that question, I should have been blown away then. And I assume that there's more nuances to what you have to offer, but that needs to be your front end, man. That needs to be everything that you're worried about. And then targeting people is simple. Target similar sites. That's it. You'll find the right people. Target your competitors. That's it. And then, okay, I'm going to get some of these from the live stream right now. What's up, guys? What's up, Stu? What's up, Mike? What's up, Theodore? Joe Kalis. Shout-outs, Joe Kalis. He got me on Digital Marketer on Thursday on Perpetual Traffic Podcast. He's the freaking man. Jeremy, what's up? All right, so Stu wants to know, hey, Kyle, launched my permission offer. Having problems getting signups. Got a 1,500 warm audience from 130 traffic, so using that. This isn't letting me press return without posting it. Sorry, anyways. Yeah, done an ad based on Nino's for the audio trip. Based on Nino's squeeze page. Okay, Stu. So you're jumping right to permission, and there is no relationship equity going on. Okay, so Stu, I want to know if you're running all this, and how much involvement, how much of a buy-in is happening with the band right now. And specifically, if someone hears your music, what are they experiencing next? Is it this ad, or is it a robust Facebook page with lots of personal contact? Because if not, that's your problem. No one gives a shit yet. They just are familiar. That's what the introduction is about. It's familiarizing. Nobody cares yet, and that's the education phase. You got to get them to care. And that happens with a lot more candid content. Yeah. Like no one's going to see a video and then be like, oh, I all of a sudden care about this band, right? That's not how it happens. So you got to backwards engineer this, how relationships happen. They need to get educated first. They saw one touch point. You need at least two more. They're probably, one thing you can do is go and invite all your likes. That might get a few more touch points to the Facebook page, but like I said, if there's nothing on the Facebook page, there's nothing for them to investigate. There's nothing for them to grab onto or hang their hat on, right? So you need to give them that. And I don't know what the buy-in from the band is right now, but you need to get them to give a shit, right? Because they're not connecting with you, and they're not connecting with your marketing. They're connecting with the band. That's who they're going to end up having a relationship with. So who's out front, and what are they doing? Are they live streaming? Do they have a little 60-second snippet that shows the band, and who they are? Is there a story on the Facebook page? Are they communicating with fans on the Facebook page? What's going on? That's all part of it. Now, I've seen people skip it. I've seen people do here's the video, and then comment below to get the song, and then get some opt-ins that way, feed it into a value sequence, educate, and then try to go for the opt-in there. That works. It just costs a lot. Costs a whole lot. So yeah. I wouldn't just serve them 2 more ads. You need to get the band involved. Show them, okay, we've got a video that's getting this much traction. So I need you to live stream and just say what up to your fans, even if no one's in there, because within weeks, people will be in there if you're running front-end traffic. So there needs to be a buy-in. Like when we started running traffic, me and Nino's in there in the comments talking to people, right? He's developing relationships. He's posting the permission offer in the comments and saying, I'm giving away my whole album, including this song, for free in this crazy experience where we're going to talk to each other. Go here. So there needs to be a buy-in there, and that's why we more recommend that indies do this, because indies give a shit, right? So you need to get your band to give a shit. pronto. If you have any more questions, post them below. I'll be happy to answer. Mike, what do you think the future holds for Facebook ads? Any info on price rises? I guess they can't stay this cheap as more people adopt them. Yeah, there's more advertisers on Facebook. Facebook prices are going up. And yeah, that's already happening gradually. Like if you got in this month, you probably haven't seen much of a price raise, but it has raised. They're also creating more placements on Facebook, which means that's like qualitative easing. You can stop the price raise by having more places for people to advertise. That's why ManyChat's going to be more and more important, is because it doesn't require people to come off of Facebook. Facebook will charge you less, therefore it will be a high ROI marketing channel. And we're currently working on ways to achieve permission, nurturing, and affirmation on ManyChat and Messenger marketing, because ultimately people will soon be able to buy through Messenger. And so the argument comes up again, like, shouldn't we do all this on Facebook? How much data should we own to stay safe? So, that's all coming to a head. You don't have anything to worry about. Because what the type of advertising that we teach is funnel. It's relationship heavy, right? And that is how people are winning on Facebook in terms of cost. Companies that go out and advertise like it's Google AdWords, or throwing a billboard up and hoping sales come in and hoping that people just become fans of them, doesn't work. And those people, their ad costs will rise. But people who are doing compelling marketing, they're not going to have as much of a problem. So I wouldn't worry about it. Theodore, I'm going to be backpacking across Europe for 1 to 2 years. I will be leaving in May of 2018. I'm just now starting to build a fan base and content. I will be, holy shit, I will be recording my first single in a few weeks and plan on releasing my EP right before I leave on the trip. I want to do house shows and small gigs in Europe to help with the costs. Do you think there's enough time to build enough momentum to have any appeal overseas? I also want to tie in my music brand with traveling from an artist point of view. Do you have any suggestions? Yes, dude. Yes. I love this, Theodore. Okay. So you need to figure out very, very granularly what your path is. So what's the first city? How long are you going to spend there? What do you need to happen financially? And then start marketing your actual path. So target only the places you'll be visiting with your front-end video traffic. And then you should be live streaming this whole journey, right? As much as you can, or video recording and then later uploading, whatever it is. This ties right into creating a relationship with your audience. That'll be your centerpiece. Wherever you're releasing this video content of you traveling, that can be your centerpiece, and you can totally build an awesome audience that way. I love this idea. So yeah, start with video traffic in your exact visiting cities. Start the first one that you're visiting now, as soon as you can. Start building a presence there. It might cost you a little bit more, but the hope is that it will return to you quickly. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens there. And definitely you can book like people in Europe are so much more receptive to especially American artists than Americans. So yeah, I think running front-end video traffic will help, and then just kind of starting to announce your narrative. Like, okay, I'm going to be traveling to Europe. Here's my preparation phase. And you just start posting about that. Start gathering warm audience, onto your Facebook page. Have them like visiting live streams and stuff. Maybe put out a permission offer if you're releasing your EP right before you leave on the trip. Do a permission offer and get all these people that you warmed up in these cities onto your permission offer, and then you're going to be visiting them. So you can call them and be like, yo, I'm coming to your town now, right? It's so awesome. I'm excited. Yeah, I would do a permission offer right before with your EP. Just be like, I want to give you my EP for free. I'm actually going to be coming to your area soon. So this is my way of kind of saying thank you for paying attention, and here you go. And you take them on a little journey, which is your journey through Europe. I love it. I think it's going to be awesome. If you need any help, you can post in the Indies group all the time, and we'll go through it with you, man. Getting involved in the comments of the video isn't actually all that much to get involved in. primed its ass off and it's got 33K views, but not too many actual comments, to be honest. Huh. Well. Nice. Sorry, I'm reading this other question. So yeah, I would run another video. First of all, your video is 1:30, not too much for people to grab onto. Not, it's got David Cameron all over everyone's face, so there's something to be said about how much they're going to be connecting with the actual band itself. And I would keep trying. Like, you did get great results with the snippet, so the music is compelling. We know that, and the video is compelling. Keep going, because me and Nino ran, I think, 3 videos before we did our first permission offer. Me and Dukes run a different video at least, I think, every 2 weeks, right? We've been trying out a bunch of different videos because we're trying to find the one that's like Rhyme of the Year 2016, where it just blows up. Everyone's like, oh my God, right? So that's what we're looking for. You should be looking for that too. Mind Altering was great for us, but Rhyme of the Year 2016 changed everything. So, I would be looking for it like that. The only time I've seen someone's video pop off right from the beginning, actually 2 times. Sita, his video we did like, I think 8 hours of traffic, and he had like 40,000 views, and people were like, oh my God, who is this rapper? That was awesome. And then Palmer Reed, we did Smart, and it was just like a perfect product market fit, and like everyone went crazy for that. But other than that, like, it takes tries. Keep going. You're developing a relationship with this audience. Try retargeting those who watched with a different video. Also try that different video to your existing test audiences, the ones that are working. Start to warm them up. Start to create a market presence. You need to keep making introductions, and then also be having something for the education phase. There needs to be a bridge. Can't just be, hey, nice to meet you. Can I have your number, right? That's weird. So figure out how you're going to be like, ask them a little bit about themselves, and then use that as a conduit to tell them about you, right? Backwards engineer it exactly like a human relationship. And I guarantee you can't go wrong that way. What stage do you start marketing on Instagram? Do you have any techniques for generating fans there? From Karanja Elliott. I hope I said that right. That's a great question. So Cameron Bird right now is, he's marketing on Instagram, and he's got like 33,000 followers. And what he's doing is he'll find people who like his bands. I'm not sure how he does that, maybe hashtags or finding posts about it. And then he DMs them. Says like, hey, I'm a metal fan too, dude. And they're like, at first they're like, is this a bot? What's up? And then he creates the relationship on the front end, like introducing himself as a person. And then transitions to like, if you're a fan of like heavy music, check this out. I make some stuff too, and it's working for him a little bit. I'm interested to see him explore that, because it's not very scalable. Like, he has to do it all by himself, and I want to see what the result is. But you can market, like, we run ads on Instagram. Instagram is just another traffic source, right? So you, just like you have a robust Facebook page, you should have a robust Instagram if you're running ads on there. But we don't run a whole lot of front-end video traffic on Instagram. We don't really pay attention to Instagram. Instagram's great for organic growth right now, I think, and influencer marketing, none of which I think are very useful to independent musicians. We need to find a traffic source that works, brings in people cleanly, a way to educate them that's reliable, that spits out people who are down to take the next step with you. And then you need to be giving them a reliable experience, or some reason to be having a conversation with you, which is our permission offer. And that reciprocity bears supporters, people who support the music. When that's reliable, you can just spend more on front-end ads, and the system takes care of the rest. It's scalable. So yeah, that's what I would recommend, Karanja. I hope I did not mess that up. Brian Lopez asks, I'd like to know about how to run a successful free CD campaign plus shipping offer through Facebook ads. So we went over this in another live stream. No problem, Stu. And the way to do that is you need a large warm audience. So if you've gone through a permission offer or something else that got your whole market talking about what you're doing, which is, that's what another key result of the permission offer is, that we got responses, we got people reviewing the Facebook page, we got people sending testimonials back. There's a conversation at hand. When there's a conversation at hand, other people are interested to a level where it's like, whoa, I know there's a lot going on here. And then you can start to send out and be like, hey, I bought this many. And this is good when you have inventory. When you're sitting, we have about, I want to say 30% of our order left from our initial order. And that's for shirts and everything. When you have inventory on hand, then you can decide, okay, you know what? These ones, I bought them. I bought them for fans. This is going out to fans. And you can go and put the offer out there just with an ad pointing to a landing page. And the ad should be a video of the band saying, hey, we bought these CDs for all the people who have become fans of us over the past, however long you've been marketing. We really appreciate all the, everyone checking out the music. So we just wanted to give back. So go here to get your free CD. You just pay shipping. And that's it. And then if there's an opportunity for them to upgrade with another discount, great. That will cause a positive ROI for you. So that's free plus shipping offers are pretty easy, but they are a middle of the funnel strategy. So it's not that they're only going to run to people who have gone through your permission offer, but it's better to have done a permission offer before you're doing them, because I don't think anyone's going to care if you haven't built that front end equity yet. So that's what I would recommend. And then last, email question. What can us independent artists do to reach out there more without having to pay a lot of money towards a promotion? So there are lots of ways. I get a lot of flack from friends that I've gained in the music space, because they're like, you don't think that there's any organic promotion? And I'm like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you can't gain a fan base without spending money on ads. I'm saying that there's no reason not to. If you can create a system that delivers you a positive result every time you spend money and more money back, and you're gaining an audience, even if it's break even, even if you can spend $1 on ads and make $1 right back and gain new fans in the process, why wouldn't you? Why would you not, right? If you can get the system tweaked, maybe it takes $1,000 investment, and then you've got the system tweaked to where it doesn't really cost you a dime. It's so worth it. I would say, even if I were running a lemonade stand, I would save up enough money to do that, because it guarantees me a fan base very, very rapidly. Now, are there organic ways? Yeah, definitely. They're suboptimal. That's why we don't do them. We realize that, okay, when people get shown our video in the newsfeed, something happens there. When people decide to watch our video without us spamming them, when we are able to iteratively create a relationship, step by step, not ignoring any step in between, that's the best. Now, the only way that can happen reliably and controllably, to me, is with Facebook ads. I can't control every step of that process if I'm not using Facebook ads to a funnel, if there's not these different steps in the process. But you can totally build a large Instagram following just posting organic, inspirational quotes or quotes from artists that you like, right? You could do that all day and gain a massive following, 30K, 40K. Are these people going to give a shit about your music? No, they don't care about your music. Getting them to care is very difficult. A traffic source is not the thing, right? If you spend 2 years developing a 30K traffic source on Instagram and they still don't know a whole lot about your music because you had to use organic promo tools to do so, then doesn't matter. Now, there are artists who killed it on Instagram by creating awesome videos of their talent. And that can work. It's a lot of work. It's so hard. You might have to create 100 videos in a year and post them and hashtag all the time, right? Until you get 80K, right? On Instagram. Conversely, if you spend a year of smart marketing, you could get 80K plus 1,000 customers too. That's the difference, is that like these people will already, you can basically not only have it not cost you, but be worth your time as well. And that's why I recommend paid traffic. It's so much more controllable than organic promo. But there's not a whole lot of organic promo strategies that don't cost any money, especially when you start to consider what your time is worth. Your time is valuable as a musician, as a person. And, you know, with Nino's audio trip, we set it up, but there wasn't a whole lot of work that went into maintaining it. And if you get a working funnel and you optimize it, you don't have to spend a lot of time maintaining it. Joe Kalis knows. Joe Kalis, I don't know if he's in here, but he can tell you an automated business is worth it to create. And if you have to spend money on ads to get a system that brings you back more than you spend on ads down, it's worth it. It's always so much worth it. So yeah, that's what I would say about organic promotion. You don't have to pay a lot of money towards promotion to get a working funnel in place. You don't. You just need good content. That's it. So that's my answer to that, dope boy. Thank you so much for the question. Wildred. 3 main stats you look at when deciding to increase the budget on a video view campaign. Do not increase your budget on a video view campaign. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to mess with the algorithm. The ad set is going to have to re-optimize. The only way to do that is to duplicate the ad set and then spend a higher budget. So if one time we did it with Team Backpack, was performing at 0.0002, 1/50th of a cent, and we wanted to increase it. I wanted to increase it. I duplicated the ad set and went from $10, and I went from 0.0002 to 0.002. Lost 100. I went down. I lost 10 times the efficiency of the algorithm by doing that. So I don't recommend increasing budget. Just run out the budget. If you want to scale, like this is the thing. If you got a bunch of 0.01s and then like 1.04 and then 2.03s, and you only have the 0.003s on, right? Throw on the 0.004s. Do it, you know? If you do the calculations and you realize you have a few performing at 0.6 of a cent, put those on too. That's horizontal scaling. You're not spending more on a given audience. You're just spending on more audiences. So when you increase the budget, you can break the optimization of your ad set. Your ad set spent 4 days or 5 days getting down to this awesome result, and now you're telling it, okay, what happens when you spend this much per day instead? And the algorithm's like, this loses your awesome results. So it stops looking at who are the exact right people to get the most result for this amount of money. And now you're telling it, okay, switch that amount of money. So it messes up. So don't up the budget directly. In order to not disturb the algorithm, they recommend upping it 20%. I've even heard that that's bullshit. I've even heard that just messing with it at all is probably not a good idea. So I would not. Introduction to education. What methods would you recommend to effectively educate and warm up cold audiences to the extent where they will take a permission offer? Okay, yes. I would love to talk at length about this. Number one, being active in the comments, super important. Specifically, in Stu's case, by the people making the music, okay? Start a conversation there. That's a great education strategy. Live streaming, frequently. That's a great education strategy. Posting frequently, because people who are watching your video are going to navigate to your page, and if there's a story there for them to understand, then they will understand it. So go there. And then also ManyChat. ManyChat's super good. All you have to do is just offer it to people in the comments with a messenger ref link, or run the comments to messenger feature. And only do that on follow-up videos. So hit them once with the first video, show them the same video again, but say the comments to messenger feature, and get them in there. You can also post it on, you can also have anyone who messages your page go directly to a value sequence, and that works too. You can make your banner image go to, point to either the message feature or the sign up feature. And the sign up feature can go to a messenger ref URL, and you will get opt-ins that way too to your ManyChat. And that just serves to educate people. I think maybe we should put out some some certifiable strategies for education. But it all ties back to being active. This is the part where stay active actually means something, because now you have all this new attention and they need to have something to discover when they investigate. So we've seen that time and time again, where if the Facebook page has nothing on it, nothing going on, no communique from the artist, people tend to not give a shit. But when the artist is like, when Nino launches, he's live streaming like every day. He is posting all the time. He's telling his audience what's going on. That's what people need to see when they get introduced to you. So when they go to your website or they go to your Facebook page, that needs to be in place. So what you can do is say, okay, once a week I'm going to live stream. I'm going to do it. And maybe that'll turn into, once every 2 days. I don't know. But start trying that. Maybe say, once a week I'm going to post a video updating people on what's going on with the band. Maybe we're going to try to start a conversation once a week on our Facebook page and see how that does, right? Either way, start doing that work. Start doing the work of having a robust Facebook page. Also, deck out your About Me. Deck out your banner. Deck out your image. We have a branding guide training coming out soon that goes over all that. But yeah, that's what I recommend for education. Education is all about having something for people to see when they investigate you. Because that's how we created an organic following, that we were able to just post the permission offer link when it drops, right? When you're in the comments, you can just post it and people will start signing up for it, like automatically. So yeah, that's what I recommend is, number one, the comments. Always be in the comments thanking people. More people will comment as a result. It's great. And then live streaming, or having some kind of regular reason to reach out to your audience on your Facebook page. Follow-up ads also do the work. Getting people on ManyChat does the work. And there is a return path from each of these. So Facebook page engagement is a custom audience that is a return path for anything organic on your page. Then ManyChat obviously has a return path. Follow-up videos have a 75% or more audience, 50% or more audience. That's a return path. So the return paths are all in place for these education strategies. And all you got to do is put people through them and then measure the growth of the return audience. And if you're getting growth there, these are the people who are candidates for your permission offer. Does that make sense? Let me know if it does. Mike Lord, any thoughts on streaming? Do you withhold content from Spotify to push people to Nino's site? No. We haven't put content on Spotify because we're waiting for replays of sampled material to come back. So that's why there's not a whole lot of stuff on Spotify right now. I recommend putting, it can't hurt. Jordan Merrick's killing it right now with Spotify. He's getting, great recurring revenue from it. It doesn't hurt at all to be on Spotify. We release everything for Nino before anyone can get some of Nino's material in stores or on iTunes or on Spotify or anywhere else. They have to get it. They can get it through either an audio trip or the Rejects membership. So we early release everything direct to fan. And then everything after that is, if the public wants it, they can get it. The reason that we don't like releasing to the public first is just because there's no return path there. If someone goes and listens to it on Bandcamp, great, what the fuck are we going to do with that, right? If someone goes and even buys it from iTunes, we there's nothing for us to do there. We don't get our customer list from iTunes, I don't think. So unless there's data there that I'm leaving on the table, maybe I can hit up iTunes and request it, but I don't think we have those emails. So we don't really care about that. We care about the return path. If someone buys something or if they get it for free, we make sure that we can follow up with them. And that changes everything. Having a return path for everything changes everything. Yeah, Wildred, I like them. Wildred asks, what are your thoughts on using a Facebook comments growth tool in combination with a JSON messenger ad, JSON? I think it's JavaScript on Node or something like that. Learn more button on a video views campaign that both adds subscribers to an automation sequence. Very nice. In ManyChat. Yes. So I like JSON, but yeah. You could, man, yeah, I think you just hit the nail on the head, dude. So you could, yeah, dude, you run a video to cold traffic, warm them up, take the 50 or 75% video views on that video, and run them a Messenger JSON ad that subscribes them to ManyChat. And with the same video as the creative. They've already seen it before, but now it's got this learn more button. I love it, dude. Yes. That's awesome. Great. Try that out. Yeah. We might do that. I'm going to test that. We got Take the Audio, or my audio trip video coming out soon. We're going to test that out, dude. Very nice. Okay. Well, Stu, if that's the case, then you've got offer problems, my man. You've got landing page issues. Stu just said he got a relevance score of 9 and he got 80 cents a click, but just a low conversion rate. Yeah, you will be paying for those non-site. That's a good point, man. Yeah, you need to refactor your landing page. I would take a look at it. You can post it in the group, and I'll go check it out and post some notes. But that's a landing page problem. Theodore, that is a good idea, but only because you have a warm audience. So you have a warm audience of Instagram followers. They know who you are. Hopefully they've listened to some of your music first. That's what I would focus on. Yeah, that'll work, dude. We only run music videos to cold audience. The first thing that people see as a cold audience is a visual representation of the music. Once that's done, there's a lot of different strategies you can put into place. So the warmer someone is, the less you have to rely on quick touches that don't break that barrier. Does that make sense? Let me see here. We got, I think a few more questions via email. Anyone else got any questions? I got a hard stop at 6 because I'm going to a conference call with the Rejects in the Rejects membership. Wildred, you have video view costs under 0.01. You're just not doing the math. But the key strategy is product to market fit. So either it's really candid content that displays a talent that the target audience really covets. So if you're shredding on the violin, your target audience better give a shit about that. If you're killing it on a rap verse, your target audience better give a shit about that. If that's the case, you'll get sick CPVs. And then there's other instances where the subject matter is super relevant to people. So for Chris Cannon's video that we just launched, you got to think it's about women who go to the club and go to church, right? And they're guilty about the club while they're in church. That's what it's about. So we target R. Kelly and Christian music, right? We target Ty Dolla $ign and gospel and Jesus, right? And that works because that's what those people are into. That's what people who go to the club and church are into and have that confliction, especially in Florida. In Florida, that's the case. I think that everyone I know is like that in Florida. So that worked really well. Another band's name in ads, or is that no? It's not a copyright issue. You can. People might shit on you for it. People might be in hip hop. People will. In jam band stuff, no. People will be like, tight. They're like fish. you know? So you got to gauge it by what your genre is. But yeah, I would say Wildred, it's totally product to market fit. It's like, it does this video, is it running to people who give a shit about this thing? Because we've given you all the tools to get past that first 3 seconds, right? You have a good headline, pattern interrupt, targeting the right audience. You're not spooking them away with a link. That's great. Now you have an opportunity, a window in which to make them give a shit. If your video doesn't do that work as well as other videos, it's not going to get as, sicker results. No, I'm not cool with people doing well, yes, I am. I'm cool with anyone building a marketing funnel. I don't own that, right? Nino doesn't own that, but I recommend that people do it their own way, because the audio trip, if you think about it, is very Nino. It's very like higher consciousness. There's all these different like thematic nuances to it. I don't recommend that anyone do that, but I recommend they do their own thing. Ed Isola, who is killing it in terms of going through the permission offer training, wait until you see his permission offer, and you'll be like, this is universal concept. Anyone can do this in their own way, and it looks great. It's awesome. So I really like what he's doing with it. I like what Cam Bird did with it. The only thing I would say is design it differently than we did. Not because I don't want people to copy me, but because I did it shitty. I didn't do a very good design with that first one. You can do such cooler designs. Wait until you see Ed's. It's badass. And then Chris Cannon's is also badass. So I wouldn't copy one-to-one. But yeah, it does not have to be like the audio trip. Post engagement campaign versus video views campaign to get more subscribers when using ManyChat's comment. Ooh, it's a good question. Well, we've tried that actually, not with ManyChat, but just in general to see if we could get more comments, and we typically don't. If it's going to a warm audience, I would test it. Test one campaign post engagement to a warm audience. Test another video views to the warm audience. Target the same post. See what works. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. But yeah, you will be able to dive into the metrics and see how many comments came from each campaign, and that way you can know which one got the more results. I think you have to dig into in the performance dropdown, go to custom, and then make sure that you check off comments like that under engagement. And if you do that, you'll know which campaign yielded the most comments, the post engagement or the video views. A/B test it, dude. Is your first guitar broken right now? Do you have it, or is it not in pieces right now? Let me know. Let me know, Theodore. I'm about to have to end here. It is in pieces, or it isn't. Is it full? Full or in pieces? But it exists, right? It's not broken. If I look at it, I wouldn't know that it's not playable, right? Okay. Record a video, you using that guitar, and then have that be a front-end piece of content. And then, if it were me, I would smash it on the video. And then somewhere later in the funnel, I'd be like, hey, remember this? I want to give you a piece of it just to connect. That's super cool. That's what I would do. But that's tight. Hell yeah. All right, I got to get on the phone with the rejects. Thank you guys so much for the awesome questions. And I will see you this whole week for an awesome week of getting shit done with each other. I appreciate all the awesome questions. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Welcome Wagon. Peace out, Indies.